couldn't agree more. I mean, without any disrespect whatsoever to our current leaders, I think they'd be quite different if the grassroots made those decisions. And we certainly wouldn't be having these random, people being rolled in party rooms while they're in power and so on. We've got to make it every stage of this process far more democratic, I think. But Keith also said,
right.
Go on.
No, and that's right. And the thing is, to attract people to turn up to branch meetings in the middle of the week, at night. Whereas if you actually give them a say in who's going to lead them as the person who best represents them to argue for their values, I think that'd be a great incentive to get people involved again.
Here's another quote from Keith Woolahan. Quote, "Speaker, I have not come here to make a career. I have come here to make a difference. Moved by gratitude, I have not come to tear down institutions, but to nourish them," unquote. That's quite the contrast to Mehreen Faruqi's sentiments, isn't it?
That's it. And you only have to ask the question of Mehreen Faruqi exactly if you want to be elected to bring things down, and this could extend to the Greens and to Lydia Thorpe. I don't think you're actually making a contribution to make our country better. And if sure, people are elected to put a particular view forward, etc. But again, I much rather people who want to put a positive view, who say, look, this is how I think we can make things better, rather than constantly knocking all the time and saying this has to go, this has to be cancelled, this is no good, we've got to get rid of it because it's bad. Well, why don't you say, look, this is the positive way forward. This is what we have to do to make things better, to actually nourish the institutions and make the country a better place. And to leave, I think, the classic politician's mantra should be, well, look, when I finish public life, did I leave my country a better place than when I came into government? That's how John Howard concluded his term, and I think every major political leader has said, well, look, I leave office having left the country in a better place than when I found it, and that I think should be a starting point for everyone who aspires to political office.
And Rocco, just quickly before you go, we are being reminded of these timeless values of Western civilization a lot these days, and particularly yesterday when the United States was remembering the 21st anniversary of September 11. President Biden said we should never forget what happened on that day, but only a few months ago, he was saying that the greatest threat to the United States were people who wanted to make America great again. We live in confused times, don't we, Rocco?
Yes, and look, that when someone's main political message is only to denigrate people who don't want to vote for them, or who can't vote for them, that person obviously has nothing positive to say about what he or she has achieved or he or she wants to achieve. America at the moment is experiencing inflation at the levels not seen since Jimmy Carter was in power. There's an energy crisis. There's a crisis of confidence in that country, as there is in the Western world. And rather than actually doing things that might address and reassure people that better days lie ahead, no, we have to throw mud and we have to denigrate our political opponents. That might be his deplorables moment. And in November at the midterms, we definitely will find out.